Hey, what up, and welcome back my sexy goblins to the wonderfully difficult hack and slash roguelike game. Let It Die. But why use melee weapons in a melee style game when we have gun? We won't just be using any type of gun though, we'll be using the sniper rifle, which believe it or not is without a doubt the worst weapon in this game. It has almost zero redeeming qualities, other than its long range and satisfying headshots. But apart from that, this thing sucks, dude. Now, some of you might argue that the rocket launcher is worse, but hear me out, okay? It provides a lot more utility in comparison. It has equally as long range, its damage is far more reliable, and it is one of the safest and arguably easiest to use crowd control weapons available. And I mean, if you guys think I'm wrong, and that I should do this challenge again but with a rocket launcher, make sure to let me know in the comments section below. But me personally, I think the sniper rifle is far worse in terms of utility. But anyway, what are we going to do for this challenge? Well, we're going to climb from floor 1 all the way up to floor 40 and beat the game using only the sniper rifle. And of course, you already know the drill, we are going to go through what we need to bring. So obviously, I have already bought some sniper rifles in advance, there they are, and hopefully this should be enough to do the challenge. Realistically speaking, we probably aren't going to be using it all that much. I know. It sucks to say, but the thing is, these things have no durability. And obviously, we need to choose our armor, because what we've currently got, I mean, it doesn't really suit the sniper rifle. I'm gonna be honest, Chief, we need something a little bit more, suitable. But the thing is, I'm gonna show you something a little bit funny. So I went out of the way to actually get the silent sniper armor. Like, I have no reason to actually use this thing. It's kind of bad, okay? This is what it looks like. It looks pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I basically turn into a hedgehog. I think we'll go with that. I think that's pretty suitable. Anything that's war ensemble. So I suppose Night Scout. And then I guess we could keep the sniper pants. You know what? I actually kind of like that. And obviously the decals that we've got right now aren't really that suitable for the sniper rifle. I mean, most of them are, bar this one. I think Final Hero is just nice because it's, 40% damage buff, like this thing's insane. And the rest of them are just crit and stamina. And let's be honest, the shooter doesn't have much stamina. So this is going to be very helpful for running through the content, because I'm going to be doing a lot of running, trust me. I mean, in all fairness, we only have a few options to choose from. I'm probably looking at professional cosplayer, in all fairness, just because of the crit chance. Like, we have Golden Gym, which buffs my attack by 30%. We have... Where's the Sniper Rifle Addict? Wait, where is it? Oh, there you are. Yeah, this buffs 30% for Sniper Rifles. It's pretty much the same as Golden Gym, but works exclusively, of course, for the Sniper Rifle. And, yeah, I mean... Crit chance is probably just the way to go. I'm gonna be honest, Chief. Crit chance is really nice, and crit damage is huge. So, yeah, we'll go with that. So, just a quick rundown on what we're taking then. Final Hero, this thing is just really nice and really helpful. I mean, 40% attack and defense when at full health. It's pretty cracked, and I do heal 15 health per second on top of that. So if I do take damage, that's fine, I can just heal it back up. And to be fair, most of the enemies in floors 1 to 40, I doubt they could even reach over 100 damage, let's be honest. So, healing wise, we're pretty much going to be at full, so we're always going to get this damage buff. Professional cosplayer, you just saw this one, gives me attack power, gives me crit chance, and it even gives me a little bit more defense. It's pretty damn good. Then we have critical attack, which boosts my critical hit damage by 30%, and then to work with that, we have below the belt, which increases the chances of a critical hit by an additional 20%, and increases the critical hit damage by another 30%. Then we have Ultramarathon Man. I like this, I'm gonna be honest. It's good on characters that have low stamina, and because we're gonna be running quite a lot, this is pretty much mandatory. Unless I want to stop every 5 seconds to regen my stamina, this basically saves me from ever having to do that. And I would say that Silver Heart and Gold Heart are nice because they boost your stamina, but 9 times out of 10, your fatigue is from running. So it's better just to run this. And then we have Special Unit Captain. This thing is pretty much just Final Hero. It gives you more attack, and it gives you a debuff. This one doesn't. I mean, the debuff is that you have to be at full health, this one is that you take more damage, but again, damage isn't really a concern here, the enemies really don't do that much damage. And then of course we have Spy. I love Spy. Some people don't, I love it, I think it's awesome. I mean, to be able to see where everything is on the map, it just makes everything so much easier. And so, with all of that out of the way, I think we are finally ready to start this challenge. So, let's go. So here's the thing, this isn't the first time I'm doing this challenge, and you might be wondering, well, why are you doing it again? Well, the first time I recorded it, I wasn't really happy with the outcome, so I've decided to do it again, because I'm someone that takes a lot of pride in their work. Maybe I'm too much of a perfectionist, who knows? I mean, I just want my content to be at its peak. You know, always. Like, I don't wanna slack. I wanna make sure I do the highest quality commentary, gameplay, edits, you name it. Also, let's just take a moment to acknowledge that I collected my emotional support pet frog. I mean, I really can't go anywhere without them. I love him. Man, I love frogs. So yeah, as I was saying, when it comes to my overall, like, content, I do want to make sure I basically make stuff that is genuinely good and entertaining, like as high quality as possible. Now obviously I am still a pretty small channel, but that still doesn't make an excuse, you know? I want to make sure that you guys really get everything that you can ask for. I'm locked in here with some beat boops, can you guys like line up for me please? Fellas, come on. Is one of you gonna attack me at least? There we go. We have a volunteer. Please, line up for me. I'll take 3 of you. 4 of you. You know what, that actually ain't too bad. So, obviously the sniper rifle isn't bad in terms of piercing through enemies. As you can see there, I shot through a lot of them. But once you do shoot, you are very vulnerable. So you see there's a bolt. Yeah, your character has no choice but to pull that bolt. So, if you're being attacked during that animation, yeah, you're definitely going to get hit, 110%. So, if you're not shooting from a safe enough distance, which you know, granted, that is the job of a sniper rifle, you're meant to shoot them from a safe distance, but let's say you're not, because let's be honest, most of these maps are very tight and close quarters, yeah, you're probably going to get hit. A lot. I want to make sure this challenge is as hard as possible. Now, obviously, floor 40, the final boss, you have no choice. You have to use fists. Which kind of sucks, it kind of ruins the challenge, but I mean, you really have no choice. So, ooh, okay. I'm also considering trying to do this challenge without taking damage, but I know that will be extremely stressful. So, just to chill for now, maybe we should go the other way. Just to chill for now, we are going to try and just do this, you know, and see if it's possible. I'm sure it is, I have beaten the final boss before with the sniper rifle, but you never know. So anyway, here is COEN, the first sub-boss. He is very easy. I'm gonna just say it, you know, he is very easy. He's just a big beefy screamer, and he's blind. So the only way he knows where you are is if you make a bunch of noise. So as long as you're stealthy, he really isn't a problem. Boop. And he's dead. It really is as simple as that. And I mean, when it comes to the decals, I'm gonna be honest. The only ones that really matter are Ultramarathon Runner and Spy. And even then, Spy's a bit of a stretch, because you could always use something like Treasure Hunter. And I suppose the same could also apply to Ultramarathon Runner, because there are less rarer alternatives. Because the rest of them, sure, they provide benefits like damage, etc. But, is this the right way? They're not really necessary, I'm gonna be honest. You could probably get away with using stuff like 4-leaf clover, dumbbell, which are very easy to obtain decals that pretty much anyone can get. And obviously they're not premium, you know, you'll lose them if your character dies, but you can very easily get them back. I gotta be quick here. Okay, we're good. This is a bit awkward. Sorry, fellas. I just gotta squeeze on through. Don't shoot me. Ouch, or jab me. That's a bit rude. So yeah, things like that definitely get in the way if I decide to do a no damage run. And obviously, it's going to be way more stressful than it currently is now. Even though we're kind of just chilling, this still takes a lot of time, and as I've said, I've already done a previous run of this, so it is a little bit exhausting. On top of having to do all the grinding too. Whoa, bro got crushed. Can I get past? Thank you. Just don't aim, use the auto aim. Ouch, yeah. Really, really sucks that you're pretty much immobile for a very long time after you shoot. It really sucks. So imagine trying to use that against a boss. If you don't one-shot them, you're pretty much going to get hit. Let's put it that way. That's why I hate this weapon so much. At least with something like the rocket launcher, it has a very high chance of one-shotting things, especially if you like manage your shrooms and you'll build correctly. Sniper rifle on the other hand, sure you could possibly say the same, but it requires a lot more precision and you'd probably have to upgrade the sniper rifle quite a lot more to even stand a chance of having the same amount of damage. Alright, I just have to lock in for a moment, don't mind me. Squeeze past, don't shoot me, thank you. And another thing as well is you'll notice that my stamina is draining incredibly slow, which is very useful for what my playstyle is here, which is run past everything and hope for the best. Which obviously doesn't always work with the D.O.D floors, which are extremely tight corridors. And this is probably the worst part of the run if I'm going to be honest, because everything else is relatively wide. Not like by a huge margin, but it's wide enough to at least make it a bit more playable. Or manageable, I should say. So here's JIN-DIE. She's okay. She's kind of spooky for newer players, but once you kind of pick her up, oof, that was a weird place to spawn. She really isn't too difficult. And the main trick to beating her, or Jackson, who we'll encounter later, is peek around the right side of any corner, especially with a weapon that's, you know, ranged. And she pretty much can't hit you, but you can hit her. And that's like the easiest way to deal with her, unless you've got something that can one-shot her. For instance, like the boulder, which I will say is without a doubt one of my favourite weapons. Oh, she's moving. You know what? You wiggle around too much, it's really hard to headshot you. So, of course, every 10 floors there is a Don that represents the faction, and the first one coming up is Max, who I'd argue is probably my favourite in terms of the fight arena. Not so much the boss, because it's pretty simple, but like, I think the whole theme of it is really cool. Get rid of Mr. Bone Man, if I can shoot you through that little gap. Nope, this game hates me. So Mr. Bone Tuber over here is probably my least favourite enemy in the whole game, and I'm going to be honest, I'm glad they don't come back in Tengoku. Although saying that, it would be pretty cool to have them come back, because you don't ever see the tubers. And I think having like Mach 10 variants would go crazy. It would add so much to the game. So far, we are actually chilling. I also should note that, depending on what day you play, will determine how the floor layouts are. So, yep. Ah, come on, man. Let me past. Thank you. So, currently I am playing on Monday, so that means I have the Monday rotation. And every day of the week has a different layout of floors. It's pretty cool, I like it. I gotta be careful here. Yeah, the flame will stop, and then it will start again. Go, go, go! The flames have a habit of kind of debating you, so don't double guess yourself. Can I get a double? Ah, damn it. How did that not hit? What is going on with the camera? What the hell? So, yes, here we are at Max, floor 10. I really like this fight arena. I think it's super rad and super cool, and it fits the theme really well. How are you doing, Mr. Death? I did not realize how tiny you are. Bro, it's so short. So the whole story behind Max is that he became obsessed with doing DIY. And well, you can see there, he got a little too obsessed, to the point that he started modifying his own body. Yeah. He has nails for a beard, and of course D.O.D is a play on DIY, but instead of do it yourself, it's do or die. And there we are! Yes! God, this arena is so cool. Jumping across the trains is such a cool, like, concept. Right, can you come over here, please? That's a bit awkward. You know what, I'm just gonna run past you. How does that sound? Gotta make sure to avoid the traps, don't get shot. Wait for the trains to meet up. Try not to get shot again. There we go. Try to avoid the nails. A cool thing as well is if you do fall off the train, you don't just die. Like, the game isn't that unforgiving. It will reset you at the start though. But at least it doesn't just kill you off and say, here you go, pay to revive yourself. No, the game is actually quite generous in that sense. Right. Mr. Bone Man, can you fall off please? Bone Man, come on. You know you wanna. Come on! Please? There you go! What a bozo. Right, let's bring you over here then. Here, the power of frog! Fear him! Okay, I don't think it's really going to do much. It is time to finally fight the boss. So obviously, he is just a head, all of the Dons are just heads, but they attach themselves to like heavily modified versions of the pre-existing bosses that you've already fought. So, you remember COEN? Well, this is like a more advanced version. And he basically becomes this amalgamation of meat, metal, and muscle. Which, in all fairness, kind of fits his character. Because the funny thing is, these characters do actually have backstories, which I think is really cool. So, here comes boss fight number 1. Let's go. And he's dead. Yep. It really is that simple. And just to secure the kill, we have to hit them with a finishing blow. I'm gonna charge up a kick, straight to the noggin. And there they go. That is done, number 1. Max. Well, there we go. Done. And his flame extinguished. And just before we go up onto the surface, we have to take a little photo. Because why not? We've got to commemorate our moment of taking down the first Don. And there he is! Uncle Death, my boy. And of course he breaks the 4th wall. Why wouldn't he? I love him. Let's just check the map here. Okay, we're good. Nice. And we are gonna run into GOTO-9, who is the next sub-boss. He is probably my favourite in terms of design. He's very quirky, but I'll let this cutscene show you what I mean. Yeah. Bro is grotesque, disgusting, and absolutely vile. And definitely far from human. What are you doing? How did I miss? Nah, that is a straight up skill issue, bro. Jesus. So yeah, you'll see there, bro, he just straight up puked on the floor. And you want to try to avoid that, unless you want to slip on it. Ah man, them hips don't lie, bro. Can you stop trying to puke? What are you doing? He also has a habit of stealing your weapon, so it's best to not let him do that. Frizzle, jiggly wiggly. You know what, let's just... no more messing around. Just bop you straight in the head. I would argue that he's probably the scariest one to deal with out of all of them. Well, here's the thing. There is a 4th one, but I don't think we're going to encounter her, which is U10. U10 is one of a kind, and very rarely will you ever encounter her. I think even if you play through the game legitimately, I don't think you will encounter her. You have to pretty much go out of your way. And I'm not joking when I say she is tough. She is terrifying. If I'm going to be honest, as a newer player, anything that helps deal with snails, probably S tier, I'm going to be honest. Especially ones that allow you to heal through poison, very, very helpful. Because all you need to do then is hold on to at least one snail, and you essentially have a ready-to-deploy medikit. It really is that simple. Man, this ultramarathon run is definitely coming in clutch though. If I didn't bring this decal, my character would basically be fatigued every 20 seconds. Probably every 10 seconds. It's really that bad. And it's probably going to save me a lot of time in the long run, trust me. Right, you get out the way. I'm not going to bother greeting for the coins, so I guess I'll just make a run for it. Ah, this is a bit rough. Okay, so we need to hook the right side, don't get hit with a shotgun, there we go. So obviously understanding what weapons do, you can kind of work around them a lot easier. So obviously you'll understand that like a knife is going to be quicker than a pickaxe, right? But obviously every weapon has a string of attacks, and generally most of them have 3, some of them have 4. And once you kind of pick up that string, you then know how and when to counterattack. Kind of think of it as like a fighting game. So how certain characters or whatever can do combos. And once you understand their combos, you'll understand their weaknesses. You know, you can sidestep, or you can counter hit with a kick, or armor break, or whatever, right? So, obviously understanding that allows you to basically deal with any enemy. This game definitely does require a lot of skill and learning, and certainly a lot of patience. I will 100% say that. Patience is key when it comes to learning this game. So, obviously you might see me rushing through everything, but that's only because I understand how the game works. This is why I hate this weapon so much, because even the screamers that use them, they are so useless. They stop to shoot, and what happens? They are so vulnerable. They are so vulnerable. And so, you can just easily take them out. And they're easy to dodge, because they're predictable. You have to stand still, shoot, and they usually just shoot in a straight line. So, there's really nothing to dodge. But anyways, let's try not to get poisoned, shall we? Just gonna be extra careful here. Very nice. So yeah, noting back to what I said about the snails, do not run through their poison. Well, you can run through one of them, but just don't run through 2 of them. Because even if you run through one and then wait maybe 10 seconds, even then you'll probably still find yourself getting poisoned. It is a very long period. It's a pretty big window, I'm gonna be honest. Yes. All of the shops are closed. Seems pretty accurate, I'm gonna be honest. Seems to be the case in most places nowadays. Most of the shops are closed, which is unfortunate really, but it's the way things are. Man, I miss the times when we had Blockbuster. Alright. What is this? We got like a whole gang. Alright, line up. How? Okay. That's just not right. Okay. First of all, how did I not kill any of you with that shot? Second of all, how are those boxes still standing? There we go. So there was another Let It Die game, which was Deathverse. I know a lot of people mention it. It's completely different to this. Because one, the game is dead. Alright, I'm not taking any chances with you because I know you'll set me on fire. One, the game is 100% dead, like it ain't coming back. And two, it really isn't like this game in terms of playstyle. That game was a battle royale, this one is a roguelike. It was fun, but it isn't Let It Die. It isn't what we've been playing. So obviously, a lot of us that played it went back to playing this because we're just like, well, it's just a battle royale. It's not really that exciting. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Death? Oh yeah, here's a cool thing. He actually has eyeballs. Yeah, he has blue eyes. He's a handsome fella. He's very tiny. I know I mentioned that already, but he is so small. He's such a tiny boy. Okay, and so here comes Jackson. Obviously you can tell, war ensemble, war-related, veterans. This guy is obviously a veteran, and he thinks that you're Johnny for a second, who was his lover in war. So, you could probably imagine what happened to Johnny. Yeah. Johnny didn't make it. And so, Jackson kind of lost it. He went a little bit on the deep end. And so he goes, well, if I can't have Johnny, I'm just gonna blow this place up to smithereens and attach my head to a grenade. But we're not gonna let that happen. We're gonna disarm him. And there are 3 points that you have to go to, and generally they're always in the same spot. So, thankfully I know where they roughly are, so this shouldn't be too bad. Alright, there's the first one. Oh yeah, here's a demonstration. They just stand still and shoot. Stand still, strafe, shoot. Stand still. Oh, he's reloading. You know what, we'll just get rid of you. Someone's after me. What? How? Bro, leave me alone. The next one is over here somewhere. As I recall. Yes, it's behind here. There you are. That's a bit awkward. We shot at the same time. Wild. I used him as a meat shield and shot through them both. Bro's sneaky with it. Can you guys leave me alone? Oh, really? And you want some action too? Get out of here. Man, I ain't got time for you. I need to find something to eat. And no, I'm not eating my frog. He's mine. He's my pet frog. I could never hurt him. Bro's getting manhandled, what the hell? Do not hold him. Stop holding him like that. I knew it was you, Johnny. Dude, I am not Johnny. I'm Calvin. Yeah, it just starts. No warning, nothing. The fight just begins. Please do not blow me up. I would appreciate that. So obviously it is very much advised to use cover. But I'm a big boy. I don't need cover. Stop trying to shoot me with your lasers. Not the evil bad man. Right, you know what? Get out of here. Bam! That is Jackson, Don number 2 of the War Ensemble, done. Man, bro is frazzled. And so his flame 2 is extinguished. And then this is when the game just becomes an absolute nightmare. Well, at least between floors 20 and 30, which I'd argue is probably the part of the game where most newer players will either make it or break it, let's put it that way. This is definitely the area that makes this game pretty damn difficult. Man, these poor stuffed animals, who would do this? Ah, you. So yeah, after you beat the boss, yeah, you are not safe. You're still in a fair amount of danger. So before you can even unlock the elevator, you have to deal with 2 more fellas. It's pretty wild. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. Thanks, developers. Can I get past you? Thank you. At least they're nice enough to let you run past them most of the time. So, to be fair, they're not really that bad. The ones that are the scariest here are probably the crossbow ones. Or any ranged enemy, if I'm going to be honest. Ranged weapons are probably the worst thing to deal with. And if you've watched my previous videos, you'll probably be like, why do you hate this place so much? This is why. The map is an absolute pain in the arse. I wasn't even prepared to like see this mess, by the way. I just kind of already knew that this would be the way it is. And it's an absolute maze. It is such a maze. So, for starters, if you do choose to run past the enemies, well, it's going to kick you in the ass later on when you have to do a U-turn or a 180. And it's just a big waste of time. Okay, regardless of if we find the right escalator or not, I'm taking it, because I've got way too many guys behind me right now. Like, if I look at the map, yep, that is an absolute massacre. And double check the map, far end right side, there is also a boss, so this might actually be the right path. Lucky me. Well, saying that, I did have to run across the entire map, and thank God for Ultramarathon Runner, because if I didn't have that, well, I'd be stopping to regain my stamina every 5 goddamn seconds. Alright, big globby man. I don't really want to mess around with you this time, so let's make this quick and easy, shall we? Thank you. Appreciated, pal. Done and dusted. No harm, no foul. Just passing through, don't mind me. Just trying to poke me with a pokey stick. Don't shoot me. Of course you're going to try and shoot me. Why wouldn't you? Okay, I guess we'll go this way instead. Or not, that path is blocked. I mean, you guys are all lined up. Not gonna lie. Oh! Spicy. It's generally best to not lock onto the enemy, because it interrupts your movement quite a bit. And obviously, comparing this to something like Dark Souls, you don't really have iframes. So you can't afford to be close enough to get hit most of the time. So that's why, like, dodging and blocking isn't really that valuable. So, like, obviously you can block and roll, and you've seen it plenty of times, but the main playstyle is maintain your safe distance, play around your footwork, you know, keep your distance, sprint away from them, sprint in, sprint out. What is happening here? Whoa, there's a lot of beep boops. Sprint in, sprint out, bait them to use attacks, you know the drill. And of course, we get locked in here. Why wouldn't we? If I get rid of you, can I open the gates? Okay, good. So I really don't want to be fighting all of these guys and wasting my bullets. Flame Sword, probably my least favourite weapon to deal with, because it is very wide swing, very unpredictable, and it obviously sets you on fire. Passing through, please don't set me on fire, please don't, okay. That's a bit awkward, that is super awkward. Oh my. Alright, good. Power of parkour, baby. Ah, oh, no, it's this place. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I'm gonna get locked in, aren't I? I have to fight my way out. Joy. Or maybe not, actually. Wow, that's really unlucky, actually. Maybe we can still make this work, actually. Do an attack. Do anything. Yeah, kill him! Beat him up. There we go. Thank you. Like, that was a bit awkward. I shot him a little bit too early. What the? Okay, so now they're just gonna start, like, falling out the ceiling, and, like, the paintings. It's kind of crazy. We're just gonna ignore them, run past them, remember where we're going, do not forget, do not forgore. And, that's rough. Break that from a safe distance. Ow, stop shooting me, please. Isn't this like the death arena? Yeah, So, basically, I'm in a bit of trouble. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I need these guys to get lined up. Like that. Somehow, okay. Really? Come on. Hello, Mr. Uncle Death. Yeah, it's time again. But this time, we get to fight a Dungeons and Dragons style boss, who I really like his design, but the fight's kind of it's not really that exciting. A fun fact about this guy, by the way, he basically had plastic surgery to make himself look like an old man. He eventually started killing people for whatever reason, and then he got arrested, and then his head just got zapped by a bolt of lightning. Yeah, it's bloody weird. Whoa, what is this? Okay. I'm gonna be honest, the last time I fought this guy, I remember having to fight a bunch of dudes. Not one of these dudes. Although, I ain't gonna complain, because this is far easier in comparison. That works for me. And here he comes through the gate. Oh, I remember this like it was yesterday. I was using the big battle axe, I was cheesing him out with the damage shrooms and the slow mungus. Ah, that takes me back, man. And there he comes. Bonk, bonk. So goofy. The fact that this guy's like 20 is beyond me. Bro's younger than me. And he looks like that. Your true battle lies ahead. So yeah, this is a upgraded version of GOTO-9, and I'd argue this one's probably be the scariest, because it has pretty much everything that you wouldn't want to deal with. Yeah. Range, elemental attacks, puke on the floor, jump up, slam the ground, scary damage, extremely high resistance to pretty much all damage, and overall an absolute pain in the arse. But thankfully we are overpowered as all hell, so bro got popped in one shot. I'm honestly surprised that killed him. But there we are, that is Don number 3, Crowley. And of course, you know what has to be done now. Kick straight to the head. Adios. It was nice knowing you, Mr. Wizard. Skadoosh. And there he goes. Ew, snot coming out of his nose. That's grim. And so, just like the previous 2 Dons, his flame is extinguished. And now we are on our way to the M.I.L.K faction. And to the final boss, the final Don, representing the final floors of the tower. Or, at one point, he definitely did represent the final floors at the very top, but I'm sure you're aware already, there's much more than floor 40 now, and we've made it to the rooftops. I absolutely was blown away when I got here the first time. I was like, whoa, is this actually happening? Like, you do think that this is the end, until, you know, Tengoku says, nah, we're extending the floors, man. No secret down here? Wait, are you for real? Man, that's actually disappointing. So 3 guys will always jump up from here. We're just going to ignore those. Make our way through here. And understanding where the enemies spawn as well is very, very crucial. So you should always know that there's 2 enemies that spawn here, one at the top of here and one to the right at the top there. Obviously them tubers up here, they don't show up in Tengoku, but they're only tubers, so they're nothing too scary. And there we go, we have made it through them guys. Very nice, very easy, very shrimply. So I believe Nintanda is COEN, and this version of COEN, he can basically throw corpses. It's cool, I like the change, I like the upgrade, it gives him something to obviously hit you from a distance, and that was something that he couldn't do before. So it's a pretty nice change. Also, this is evil. 2 boxes, bro. I mean, we're at floor 34 already, we are doing pretty damn well. This challenge has been really good. Compared to my previous run, which to be fair, I am still really sad I'm doing this whole thing again. But at the end of the day, it was my choice, and I wasn't really happy with the previous video that I was working on. Like, when I say I was working on it, it was to the point where it was ready for, like, being public. And so, making this decision wasn't easy, but it is one that, obviously, I did put a lot of thought and regard into. And obviously, you can see here, I went through with a decision because I wasn't happy with the way the video turned out. And so, making something that is a lot better and more entertaining, you know, will be a lot more beneficial in the long run. But yeah, when it comes to actually navigating the floors, yeah, War Ensemble and M.I.L.K 100% easiest. Like, they're enjoyable, they're good once you understand them. Candlewolf feels so completely random. Like, the enemies obviously have set fixed spawns, but they feel so odd at times, if that makes sense. And where the escalators spawn, it can be an absolute nightmare. Speaking of absolute nightmares, what are we going to do about you? So, this part here is a bit of a choke. And by a bit, I mean quite a bit. So, as you make your way up here, a guy will drop down, and then another one will drop behind you. Yeah. And well, there's not really an easy way to deal with that, unfortunately. You can run up, bait the first one to spawn, which will always trigger the second one to spawn, but you have to be incredibly quick. And even then you have to deal with both of them at the same time, rather than deal with the one that immediately drops. But then there's a very high chance that once you've killed the one in front of you, the one behind you is probably already on your ass. So, the choice is really yours there, but saying that, it's not a great situation either way. And so here we are. I had no idea you'd make it this far. And he's like, are you some kind of pro gamer? Why yes I am. Word up buddy. Thanks Mr. Death. I've played this game so much I know exactly what he says. Ah man. I don't know if that's sad or impressive. But yeah. This fight, as I said right at the start, is a tiny bit different. And I'm forced to use my fists, unfortunately. But I have no choice. You pretty much have no choice. There's no other option. So I get stripped of all of my gear, and I eventually have to get it all back. So once I do get the sniper rifle back, of course I'm going to use it. But until then, I'm going to have to do a bit of punching. So, hope you guys can forgive me for that. And so here we are in the final arena. We are a sumo wrestler. Which is cool, because the whole theme of this character, of whom we're fighting, is Taro. Taro has a pretty bad history, in the sense that he sabotaged, poisoned, murdered, backstabbed pretty much every opponent that he knew. Which makes sense, considering, you know, he stripped you of all of your gear, and then forces you to fight enemies that have said gear. Yeah. This guy doesn't play fair, and it's pretty damn evident. He plays dirty, he likes to play not by the rules, he likes to play by his own rules, let's put it that way. And he is probably the, well obviously he is the hardest boss, because he has the body of U10, who as I've said, although we haven't been able to fight her because, you know, we didn't take that floor, I don't even know which floor it is actually. She is by far the most agile and scariest to deal with. But yeah, here we are. We are in the sumo ring. We are ready to fight. What is that noise? You know what, you do you, pal. And even though we're using a shooter, we still do some crazy damage without punches. Not as much as a striker or an all-rounder, but still quite a lot. And that's another thing I'm going to say as well. If you're playing this game, I 100% suggest using the all-rounder or the striker. Those two are definitely your best bet when it comes to climbing. Using anything else isn't really that advised. So this guy is my sniper rifle, but obviously, as I've already said, their attacks are very predictable. So actually, using the sniper rifle isn't too bad here, because it's easy to dodge, it's easy to sidestep, and I can very easily just kill them. Well, easy there, Tiger, we just started. God damn. I didn't even get a chance to finish speaking. And get all my armor back. Can I reload first? No. Okay. Well, thanks. Okay, we should have room, or time, I should say, to reload now. Oh, by the way, that was the COEN that uses the dead bodies, but I didn't really give him the chance to do his thing. It's fine. It's fine. And so, here we are, with the final boss. Taro. He is quite an interesting fight, but because his head is absolutely ginormous, we're going to take that to advantage. And we're going to shoot him right in his condylium, which, believe it or not, is his main weak spot. Who would have guessed? And thankfully the boss is nice enough to give us like a good 2 seconds to shoot him in the head. And he's already staggered. Can I shoot you in the head though? Thank you. Are you staggered again or what? Oh, you are. Bro's getting stun locked. Poor guy. And he's dead. So yeah, you see there, he took quite a few shots though. So this guy still isn't meant to be, you know, undermined. He's still very tough, and I remember committing a lot of time and effort and grinding and mushrooms to beat this guy. And it is quite an achievement to beating him. So to all of you that have, I say congratulations, because beating this game is quite an achievement. And so there he goes, Don number 4, the final Don, Taro, down. And that, ladies and germs, is the challenge completed. And so there we are, ladies and germs. We have officially completed the challenge, not once, but twice. Well, unfortunately you didn't get to see the first time I did it, but let's just say I'm kinda glad I finally got this done. But anyways, if you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more, especially if you want to see me do more challenges as well, and just doing more variety content in general, because as much as I love Let It Die, I do also enjoy and play a lot of other games. So make sure to let me know by subscribing, liking and leaving a comment, because I do make sure to read and reply to every single one. So if you do have any ideas or suggestions, definitely feel free to throw them my way. But anyways, that's all for now. Thank you dear viewer for watching this video until the very end. It seriously means a lot to me, like, thank you. And I will hopefully catch you later, so take care.